Perhaps what's most curious about this entire event is that these were things that, while they were seen either with some praise from the West or from other nations who had formerly opposed the Germans, they were also sometimes seen as being just things that were not really meant to be treated seriously. In fact, there were multiple times when the Nazis, especially early on, could have been stopped. And there were multiple times where Hitler and the demands he made could have actually been stopped, or at least he could have been told no. In fact, one of Hitler's chief lieutenants throughout the war, Joseph Goebbels, one of his closest advisors, he had this to say in 1940 about how the Nazis could have been stopped. He said, "Up to now, we have succeeded in leaving the enemy in the dark concerning Germany's real goals." In other words, nobody seemed to really understand what Hitler and the Nazis were really after. Just as before 1932, our domestic foes never saw where we were going or that our oath of legality was just a trick. We wanted to come to power legally, but we did not want to use power legally. They could have suppressed us. They could have arrested a couple of us in 1925, and that would have been the end. No, they led us through the danger zone. That's exactly how it was in foreign policy, too. In 1933, a French premier ought to have said, and if I had been the French premier, I would have said it, "The new Reich Chancellor is the man who wrote Mein Kampf, which says this and that. This man cannot be tolerated in our vicinity. Either he disappears or we march." But they didn't do it. They left us alone and let us slip through the risky zone, and we were able to sail through all dangerous reefs. And when we were done and well armed, better than they, then they started the war. It's a sobering and brilliant evaluation of what actually happened by Goebbels. The Nazis did come to power legally, but they did not rule legally. They ruled by force. They ruled by intimidation. They ruled by fear and the wrath of man. We'll further study how they came to power and how the war actually began in the next lecture.